Welcome to another episode of Recode Your Destiny. I'm your host, Victor Escalante. The podcast where we explore the hidden patterns that shape our lives and how to transform them. Today, I want to talk to you about something that affects all of us, the invisible scripts we carry in our minds and how they quietly shape the direction of our lives. This isn't about quick fixes or magic answers. It's about understanding how the mind really works and what it takes to change it from the inside out. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever noticed that no matter how much you try to change, certain patterns keep showing up? Maybe it's relationships. Maybe it's in your work. Maybe it's in the way that you talk to yourself. I want you to think about this. These patterns often trace back to early experiences, things we didn't choose, but learned to survive. Over time, they become the story we tell ourselves. I'm not enough. I have to prove myself. I can't trust anyone. No one loves me. I'm not worth anything. This is the self-talk that typically runs through people's heads. This week, I've had the privilege of working with several individuals that they were able to change their inner script to have a more positive, more sage mind thinking as opposed to just focusing on self-saboteurs that were really affecting their self-esteem. Think for a moment. What's a line from the script you've been carrying around? When I talk about recode, I'm talking about updating the mind's operating system, not erasing the past, but giving it a new meaning so it stops running the show. I'm going to talk to you to give you an example. This week, I worked with a lady that she had 4 months of doing things that she was not particularly proud of, that she was carrying a lot of shame and a lot of guilt. When I helped her to understand that what she did was self-sacrificing in order to provide for her mother's failing health, she was able to change that inner script of doing things that were shameful and very guilt-inducing into doing what was necessary to be able to help her mother. And so as a result of changing that script, she was able to let go of the emotions. Once you develop awareness, you can never lose it. So the journey is to always be doing self-reflection of what is it that you're learning along life's journey that you can extract the meaning and the lesson and let go of everything else. So it's like carrying around an old record player that skips on the same scratch every time. You can either keep listening to that loop or you can lift the needle and find a new groove. You're listening to Recode Your Destiny. We'll be right back.
Atención Woodlands. Este 3 de septiembre llega Escalante Mind Recode en asociación con Woodland Stories Magazine con el taller transformador Mente Positiva, Vida Poderosa. ¿Sabías que dentro de ti existen saboteadores que frenan tu éxito y tu felicidad? Con inteligencia positiva descubrirás cómo identificarlos y eliminarlos de raíz. En este taller único aprenderás a reprogramar tu mente para alcanzar el éxito, activar tu resiliencia emocional, transformar tus pensamientos en aliados de tu grandeza y, lo más importante, despertar la mejor versión de ti mismo. Imagina una vida donde tus pensamientos no te sabotean, sino que te impulsan hacia tus sueños. Esa es la promesa de la inteligencia positiva y la experiencia de Escalante Mind Recode. Reserva tu lugar hoy mismo. El cupo es limitado y este evento es exclusivo para quienes están listos para un cambio real. 3 de septiembre, The Woodlands. 3 horas que pueden marcar el inicio de tu nueva vida. Recuerda, mente positiva, vida poderosa. Con Escalante Mind Recode y Woodlands Stories Magazine.
We now return you to Recode Your Destiny. I once worked with someone who realized the belief "I'm invisible" had been running her whole life. When she finally saw it for what it was like stepping into the sunlight. She didn't suddenly become a new person. She remembered who she had been all along before the story took over. You see, she was not the favorite daughter in the marriage. If anything, she was the ugly duckling that the father even bullied her. And so she always resented her older sister that got all the attention, got all the resources, got all the cuddling, and she never got any of that. But it turned out that all of that attention and all the resources that her father gave to her sister turned out to be a curse because she was raised with a mind of entitlement that ended up leading to bad choices that ended up really having a horrible life. So she was able to see from the perspective at the fact that her father didn't give her so much attention actually turned out a blessing in disguise because she had a very happy and well-adjusted life. So I want you to start noticing and notice the loop. Catch yourself when the old same thought or feeling shows up. Write it down. Ask, where did this belief come from? Does it still serve me? Imagine a new script. If I weren't carrying this old belief, what would I do differently today? Keep it reflective, not prescriptive. These aren't steps to fix you. These are ways to open space so you can see yourself with fresh eyes. I want to tell you another short story. A man once told me that he felt like the whole life was about climbing. Always climbing, never arriving. After one breakthrough, he said it felt like the mountain had turned into a meadow. The path was still there, but now he could walk it instead of struggling up it. This man had struggled all of his life, and I mean literally all of his life, and he kept seeing life as a constant struggle, something that he had to do in order to survive. And when he made that shift, he was able to have the choice to not view it the same way, but also to take steps to rest, be more intentional in making happy moments along the journey, as opposed to viewing it as a constant struggle, that there was never any reprieve, there was never any rest. Transformation doesn't always mean fireworks. Sometimes it's a quiet relief, if not fighting yourself anymore. As you go about your week, this coming week, notice the stories that play in your mind. Notice which ones feel heavy and which ones feel true. And remember, you're not bound to a single script. You have the power to lift a needle and choose a new track. So until next time, go out and have a great week.